including items like beef, cotton, wheat, sorghum, corn, and soybeans. The latest list of products facing Chinese tariffs hits rural Texas hard.
We're very lucky that we have the best negotiator at the table in the president, and we're going to go through that process. It'll be a couple months before tariffs on either side would go into effect and be implemented, and we're hopeful that China will do the right thing.
Less than a week after the repeal of an Olmos Park gun ordinance, 2 more municipalities follow suit. Voter rights activists say a federal ruling makes it easier for Texans to vote. And after a pair of disastrous losses in LA, the Spurs postseason hangs in the balance.
And the Lakers are going to win this one by 10. They outscored the Spurs 14-4 in the overtime.
I'm Chance Storlin with your Express Briefing for Thursday, April 5th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts and get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletters. In February, grain sorghum, a sweetheart product for Chinese pork and duck meat producers wanting a grain without genetically modified traits, was hit with an anti-dumping investigation. And following newly announced Chinese tariffs, Wednesday, Wayne Cleveland of the Texas sorghum producers began the day wondering if the commodity can survive the incident's combined punch. Sorghum is just one of the 106 U.S. products subject to 25% tariffs in retaliation to the Trump administration's anti-China tariff plans. Last year, as U.S. farmers exported $12 billion worth of soybean products to China, the country's newly proposed hit list also has the potential to bring down the soy industry, which currently holds the title of America's largest agricultural export. While Texas isn't a big soybean grower, it is a top producer of cotton, wheat, corn, and beef, all of which are now targeted. AP Washington correspondent Sagar Magani has more from the White House.
China says it may hike tariffs on the biggest U.S. exports like soybeans and small aircraft. Beijing is urging the Trump administration to sit down and discuss the growing trade dispute, which some analysts fear could devolve into an all-out trade war. President Trump says there is no trade war. The U.S. lost that war with China years ago. Still, the tit-for-tat proposals are causing strong market reactions. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross tells CNBC the proposed moves deal with tiny parts of both the U.S. and Chinese economies, and the market's response is out of proportion.
Less than a week after the Olmos Park City Council repealed an ordinance that prohibited anyone other than an authorized police officer from carrying a loaded rifle or shotgun on public streets. Late Tuesday and early Wednesday, Hollywood Park and Alamo Heights City Council members unanimously repealed almost identical open carry ordinances. Gun rights activists are praising the 2 municipalities for the repeal of the ordinances that were in clear violation of Texas state law that allows individuals to openly carry a long gun without a license. The laws came to light early last week after retired Temple Army Sergeant C.J. Grisham, president and co-founder of Open Carry Texas, was tased while being arrested at a small gun rights demonstration in Olmos Park. The Bexar County District Attorney's Office says prosecutors are currently reviewing the charges against Grisham, including assault of a police officer, interfering with the duties of a public servant, and obstructing a roadway. Following a federal court decision based partly on a Bexar County resident's ordeal, millions of Texans who changed their driver's license address online may soon automatically get their voter registrations updated at the same time. Currently, Texans who change their address from one county to another online with the Department of Public Safety must print out a form and mail it to their new county elections office, even after checking a box that indicates they want their voter registration changed. But when that change is made in person, DPS automatically sends the new address to the voter registration office and updates the information. In 2016, the Texas Civil Rights Project sued the state, claiming that different systems for online and in-person registrants violates the Federal National Voter Registration Act, often called Motor Voter. The civil rights group worked with 4 voters, including a Bexar County man who moved counties. Between September 2013 and May 2015, more than 1,800 voters filed formal complaints with the state, saying they mistakenly believed their voter registration records were updated when they used the DPS online system. And Wednesday night, the Spurs fell to the injury-depleted, lottery-bound Lakers, 122-112 in overtime, just one day after they blew a 19-point lead and gave up 41 points in the fourth quarter in a 113-110 loss to the Clippers. If the fifth place in the West Spurs are to avoid missing the playoffs for the first time since the 1996-97 season, they'll now likely have to win at least 2 more contests before the end of the season, with their next 2 games at home in the AT&T Center against Portland and Sacramento. And that's your daily San Antonio Express News briefing for Thursday, April 5th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. I'm Chan Storland.